When I tell people that I'm aspiring to be a music educator, the first thing they like to ask me is who influenced me to go for this. So, when I was younger, I had a rather weird experience with band because my first ever band director told me to quit. They told me that I was not determined enough, I was not dedicated, and that my instrument was just flat out too hard for me. As a kid, that really tore me down and made me feel like I was just worthless as a musician. So I go to my mom and I told her that I wanted to quit band. She asked me to stick through it for the year, in which I did. Later that year, I found out that my first band director was retiring and we were getting a new band director. This new band director had a complete 360 different teaching style than our first. This director was very dedicated to their students and getting to know them. This director took the time to pull students aside separately and ask them why music, and really just get to know them and what music meant to them. They would also take students separately and listen to their playing, and this is what influenced me the most because he really praised me on a lot of the things that I've done with my playing, and then he would also give me some ideas to work on, but in such a way that I didn't feel like I was being told all the things I was doing wrong per se, but the things that I could work on. And that's what really motivated me to be an educator, because once I seen the two different teaching styles, I realized that we need more teachers that are so dedicated to their students and wanting them to reach their full potential in a very positive manner, more than teachers that want to use a negative reinforcement to try and motivate their students, because as young children, it just doesn't work like that. If you were to ask this person 5 words to describe me, the first word would definitely be outgoing, because I am an outgoing person and I do have a rather louder voice and laugh, but I also just really like getting to know people and their stories, whether it's their why music or just other things going on in their life. The next thing would have to be that I'm very brave. Whether it's a new situation that I'm unsure of, I'll still put my best foot forward. Same thing as in sight reading, you gotta be brave. The next thing would have to be that I'm a very helpful student, is that whenever I have a band director, I make it a point to help them, my section, and the band as a whole, because the band director is only one person in charge of multiple ensembles and hundreds of students. So if there's some way that I can help, why not? The next thing would have to be that I'm very knowledgeable, not only on my instrument, which is the French horn and a harder instrument, but it's also good to be knowledgeable on it because this way I could help other horn players. And then I'm very knowledgeable with music in general because I took it upon myself to be in extracurricular ensembles, other music courses through my school, so I could get as much music as possible at a young age so I can help as many musicians as possible. The last thing would have to be that I am determined. Unlike my first teacher told me, I'm very determined as a student to do the best that I can possible and to become the best player that I can be. And not only that, but to be the best teacher I can be. Because every student that comes in contact with me, I want them to reach their full potential no matter what, in the best way that they can. What makes me unique for this seminar would have to be that I do play the French horn, which is a harder instrument, and I have a lot of knowledge on it, and I want to help teach kids about the French horn specifically, but by learning other teaching styles, it would really help me and be able to go for it. I would love to have this opportunity and to see how other educators interact with each other and the things they do to make their students who they are, and so that they could all reach their full potential, because that is the goal of every music educator, no matter what.